How are you, my friends? As I promised you in my previous video, today I'm going to talk about laws of persuasion in negotiation and how to use it effectively. Without further ado, I'll start with the first law. First law is psychological commitment. When we are saying psychological commitment, that means we try to get other person commit us psychologically to support us. This is actually how you plant your idea inside their mind. To get the psychological commitment, you have two options to do. Now let's see how to do that. First thing what you can do is to make them flattered. To make them flattered, what you can do is you can tell them in your negotiation process. Apart what they have explained previously in the same discussion, you can bring it up. For an example, I too agree with you. Then I really appreciate that you have decided to support us in this way. Your support is really valuable for us. We are going to win this as a team. Something like that you can push them. Like make them flattered. The other way around, as I told you, feel them guilty. So you can use several reasons to make them guilty or to feel them guilty. So you can recognize their prior commitment, linking it to the current request, and make them to feel obligation to their word. So this you have to do it in that way. For an example, what you can do is like, as you promised in the beginning, or else we are here to negotiate because of the mistake you have made in the past. If you haven't done it, we don't have to have this negotiation process. Doing that, actually you can make sure to feel them guilty. So this is how you manage the psychological commitment principle. Next point, I'm going to talk to you about liking principle. This principle actually one of the most influential principle in communication. Remember, all of these principles you can use it in various locations or the various steps in your communication or the negotiation process. There's no fixed place to use these principles. So when we talk about liking principle, you have to make sure other party start liking you. To do that, you can easily use similarities between you guys. This part I actually spoke in my previous video as well. So that means you have to find out similarities between both of you. For an example, school what you have attended, where you have got your degree, about your previous work company, something similar. The biggest way is you can talk about your hobbies. You can communicate and convince them that you both need to achieve the same target. For an example, if it is a business deal, what you can tell them is, I really wanted to grow this business with you, not to impacting you but with you. So you make sure that other person start feeling that okay, this person is here to support me, so to start like you. So make sure you do this negotiation part with the maximum use of liking principle. So you can start liking part or the liking principle from the beginning, middle of the conversation, and at the end of the suggestion part or the before starting the suggestion part. So use this liking principle wisely. You can get much more better result through that. Then the third point we are going to talk about symbol of power or as authority. This is actually what we try to do for your opponent to show them how success you are, or else your perceived level of success you try to show them. Through that you can influence them. I will give you a couple of examples in that. If you have seen ever that how Michael Phelps or Usain Bolt dominating in the field when they are doing their sports in the Olympic? Every time when Usain Bolt come to the field, he jump up, he do different things than others, he showed completely different thing, and you can see out of all other athlete, he is different and he showed his power, authority. Same way Haka dance in New Zealand team, and same way Michael Phelps usually what he's doing in at the swimming pool. Before start, he comes with the headset on, with the hoodie, in a very normal way. Then he showed completely different attitude towards the people. So you show your symbol of power. I will give you one example which I experienced in my life. So when I was working for this company, company chairman or as the boss is a little bit authoritative person. So what he used to do is in his office room behind his table, he's having couple of swords hanged in the background, then couple of old pistols and all hanged in there, so nicely managed in the wall, then some nice carvings, designs in there. Apart from that, he has his custom made chair to sit, very big chair with nice designs. Top of that, he keep one MacBook Pro on the table and couple of other things to show his power authority. When you go to his office, you can see the presence of him, you can see the power of him. So that is how people using the power or the show authority to people. So most of the negotiation, if you are starting to showing this power or the authority from the beginning, you can easily handle your opponent, you can easily dominate your opponent, and you can easily dominate your negotiation. The other way is, most of the time these people do is, or the big businessmen usually do is, they don't have meetings in a just a small restaurant or in a small cafe or something like that. Either they are having it in their own office in a special meeting room, or else they are usually having it in a very fancy restaurant or the dedicated meeting room or something like that, to impress other. When you come to that negotiation as an opponent, you start feeling, oh my god, this person spent money on that, we are going to have this in some place, some bigger place or something like that. So you start to think about person, you automatically goes under his power. Then the way you dress, so this is how you have to do. The next point what these people do is to show their power and the authority, they use third party to tell about them. So as I told you, in my previous chairman or the previous boss, what he used to do is, when someone comes to meet him, he uses a third party. Most of the time his PA or someone usually comes up and explain what he has done, charity service he has done, or else the power over certain things for him, what he's having and like that. So there is a third party involvement, they are using someone else to explain about themselves. You might experience the same when you go out with your bosses and all. Normally you are the person usually introduce your boss with a small little bit of details about him, he has done this, that and that, all like that way. So that is a way of handling this authority. Then the fourth principle, social proof. So social proof means you bring it out the first person testimony to that. That means people start believing you when something and someone also there to witness the incident. So for an example, you can say in your negotiation, I gave same suggestion to so and so, and he's starting doing well off right now because of he took my advice, now he's doing it in that way. So if you see certain motivation videos and everything, you can see, especially this money management video and all, you can see these people usually talk about, okay, I gave the same advice to so and so, now you can see that they are doing really well, like that way. So you get the social proof, you bring social proof. In your real life, you can actually see lawyers usually do that. So they bring this social proof when they try to prove their points, right? The next point is scarcity. Scarcity means you try to show them or emphasize it is a limited time offer, it will not available for a long time. So as a human being, as a normal people, we usually really worried about what something belong to us will get loose. The other thing is, even it is not belong to us, even we don't want that, when someone highlighted this gonna lose, this will be the last chance to get it, something like that, so you want to grab it quickly. This is a normal human behavior. You can see the same tactic used by all these small level of vendors and all, especially these vendors who selling these lottery ticket and all. They usually say, okay, last 2 tickets to sell, this is all we have, if you get it, this is lucky is with you, you will get this million of money, and like that way. So that is how they persuade you to get this. So they know that your needness to buy, even that is, it is not required for you, you wanted to buy it because otherwise you're gonna lose it. So this is what they try to create it in there. So scarcity is other thing. In your negotiation, what you can tell is, this deal will be off if once I stand up from this table. You might heard these terms. The other thing is, if you agree with my points today itself, so we can do the deal done in today, and I agree with your price, what you are saying to me. Something like that, you can bring it up in the negotiation. Then the last principle in here is reciprocation. What do you mean by reciprocation? That means you show them that you are doing it a favor to them. Actually, I usually tell this reciprocation is the money or the currency in politics. Why I'm saying like that is, most of the time in Sri Lanka or any other developing country, politicians, they believe that they are showing to their people, community, that I'm doing it as a favor to you. So this is the trick they are using. So that's what I'm saying, that reciprocation is a currency in politics. So how you do it is, you are saying, I don't want to do it for you, but as a favor I'm doing this to you, but still it is in your capacity to do that. So in the same way, how you will use this in a negotiation is, you can show them like, you are a good person, I can see you have a potential, because of that I feel I want to support you. That is why I decided to do this with you, otherwise I really don't want to do this with you, something like that. They are bring it up. This is the theory, this is the technique they usually use. So even in some offices, some government office and all, you can see that if you have a friend, they will do that and they will highlight it like, because I know you only, I have done it for you, otherwise I don't want to do this, I really don't like to do this, but I have done it for you because of I thought it is good for you and you are a good guy, something like that. So automatically you are bound to support them back as well. So this is a theory. So in your negotiation, as I told you previously, you can tell them that I will do this favor to you because of you are a good guy, I have seen something in you, I have seen some potential in you. So automatically your opponent start to think for you, start worrying for you, and start supporting you unconsciously, or in their mind, they, without they knowing, they started doing this. So that is how you use these 6 principles in the negotiation. So try it. I don't ask you to try all 6 principles at a time. Try one by one, and I believe you will see some difference. You might have done it already. I'm pretty sure at least more than 4 or 5 principles you already practicing without knowing it. But try it with the knowledge, try it with the knowing and how to do it properly. You will achieve amazing results with that. So thanks a lot, join with us today as well. Comment me in the below if you really want to talk about anything, any other subject area as well. I will join with you again with another important videos. Thank you.